So daily routine to help fight off depression. This can really help you to heal from deep within, heal from depression, brokenness, anxiety, or any kind of mental illness. So if you had a sickness, you would do what you need to do to manage that sickness. You would take the medications, you would eat the right foods, you would do what you have to do to heal that sickness or manage that sickness. And so in the same way, you have to do that with depression or any kind of mental health. And so your morning routine, that's number one. Your morning routine has to be intentional. You have to choose your morning routine really carefully. So if you want to heal and manage this sickness and turn it around, you can heal, but you have to be intentional. Just like if you had a sickness, you have to choose what to do each day. So your morning routine, I recommend, number one, do not go on your phone in the morning or on social media. Don't let other people dictate how you feel. So when you get on social media, you see everybody's arguments, you see the negative comments, you see all these different news things that people are posting. And so you start your day off with that going in your mind. So instead, start your morning routine with meditation, with breath work, deep breathing exercises, with gratitude, speaking out the gratitude, like speaking out that you're thankful for your life, you're thankful for this day. And if you're struggling to speak it out, write it down, then read what you put. But you know, you do something to your brain when you're speaking out the gratitude, when you're speaking out these things, you're telling your brain that today is going to be good, that there's good things in your life. So these are the few things you can do in the mornings, you know. The affirmations of yourself, speaking them out loud. So you're speaking all the positive. And I know there's still things around, there's still things in your life that maybe make you feel a bit less, you know, a bit down. But speaking them out, starting your day off like this, being very intentional about your morning routine. I like to listen to a great inspirational teacher in the morning on YouTube, like Master Sri Kashnap. I listen to his every morning, and then I'll listen to a podcast by Mel Robbins or Lewis Howes or Jay Shetty or Dr. Caroline Leaf, or there's a massive list of them. I have them, so I look, you know, what the called in the mornings, what their podcast is called, and if it applies to me. But there's some that I just love to watch every single day, no matter what. I'll put them on while I'm getting ready in the mornings. So I'm very intentional about my morning routine. And as you know, I was stuck in deep depression at one stage. So depression, I know, takes over your brain, and when it takes over your brain, it's like a darkness, like a fog is taking over your brain, and you just can't seem to break out no matter what you do, and you don't really want to face the day or face people, or and you just, well, there was a time that I couldn't function in society, I couldn't function in life because I was so depressed. But one of the things what really helped me to heal is being very intentional about my days and my morning routines, and writing out a morning routine that I would stick to every day, that it comes natural now, that I don't even have to think about it. It's the first things that I do. So I wake up really early just so that I can do this morning routine of doing these different things. And so if you can add into your morning routine some exercise is proven to help release all the pent-up frustration, anger, feelings, and releasing endorphins, give you a clearer mind. So if you've got time to add the exercise in the mornings, if not, add it later on in the day. But if you can, add it into the mornings. So, you know, breath work, meditation, watching an inspirational podcast video, gratitude, speaking out my gratitude, the morning affirmations, and some exercise, you know. And a great thing to do every single day is your walk outside in the fresh air, in the sunlight, in nature. That's another proven fact to really help clear your mind and to help you to conquer depression and heal from depression. So again, if you can add it in the morning, your morning routine, I recommend it. But sometimes you don't have that time, so you can add it later on in the day. But really being intentional about your morning routine is number one for healing from depression. So number two, the food you put in your body, your nutrition, the vitamins. Okay, so I take a number of different vitamins every single day. And since I've been doing that, it's really helped. But the days that I forget, you know, especially when I've been so busy and I forgot for a few days in a row, I really can tell. It's very important to get the right vitamins, you know, that you need, and the right foods. And so at the moment I'm reading a book by Dr. Livingood, and I didn't realize the importance of all this for mental health. And if you struggle with depression, you know, like I know, that the last thing we think about is the food we put into our bodies. When we're depressed, who seems to care about the food that we put in, you know, because we don't care about ourselves. So we really have to be mindful about the food that we're putting in our bodies, the nutrition we're putting in our bodies. So right now I'm on that journey of trying to really tweak and change everything. And in Dr. Livingood's book, he has a food list of what we need to have in our cupboards and what we need to put in our bodies, and what we don't need to be putting in our bodies and why. And so that's very important to think about. Our nutrition, and it can play a massive part in our mental health. And there's been lots and lots of studies even about that, about the things that so if we're putting in lots of processed food and sugars, then that actually really affects our brain as well as our bodies. It affects our brain. So it's important to think about that. So be very intentional about what you're putting in your bodies. So then also getting dressed for the day, dressed for success. So, you know, like I know that when you're really depressed, you want to stay under a blanket all day. You don't want to face people. You don't want to get dressed. You want to stay in your PJs all day. You don't want to shower. You don't want to, you just don't want to face the day. So you know what? One of the big things is make yourself every single day, get a shower and get dressed for the day. Do your hair and makeup, you know, even when you don't feel like it. I mean, I know that these days that we still have like our slob days where we're kind of like, oh, I was busy all week at work, today I'm just gonna veg out in my PJs and just you know, have a day like that now and again. But you know what, it's like what I said in the beginning, you know, if you have a sickness, you would take care of the sickness. You would take your meds every single day. You would think about what you have to do to maintain that sickness or to heal from that sickness. Well, in the same way, if you're struggling with depression, anxiety, mental health in any kind of way, then you have to be intentional about how you're going to heal it and how you're going to change it and how you're going to manage it. So then this is a must whilst you're healing, to think about these different steps. So obviously, number one, morning routine. Number two, your nutrition and vitamins and what you're putting in your bodies, which is something I'm working on right now. And I think that we're always having to work on these things, always, especially when we've been to the other side where we didn't care about any of these things, and the other side where we've been to the depth of despair and been very depressed. So I am very intentional about my days. And so, yeah, getting ready and dressed for success for the day. You don't know what's going to be coming your way in the day, so you want to be ready for it, but also just to make yourself feel better. You know, I know when I was in that state when I just wanted to be under a blanket all day and not face people, and I didn't want to get dressed. I didn't care about what I looked like or what I smelled like or anything, you know. I won't feel good about myself, but when you get ready, you feel refreshed. you feel good and ready to face the day. So that's something that you really have to be mindful too of. So first of all, your morning routine. Next, your vitamins and nutrition. And number 3, get up and get ready for the day. Get showered and refreshed and ready to face whatever comes your way. You'll feel ready and you'll feel like success, more of a success if you than just laying in bed all day. So definitely getting ready for the day. I would say actually next, a real big important thing is thinking about what you're putting in your brain through the day. So we're now just thinking about if you're dealing with depression and anxiety or any kind of mental health. You know, being careful about what you put in your mind, being choosy about what you watch on TV or what news you watch or what social media you're on or even the people you were around. So I know for me, I really have not done well when I was very depressed and not able to cope or block myself off. I couldn't be around like a bunch of women who are kind of, you know, catty or you know, like gossiping or not nice and always feeling self-conscious and not sure what they're saying about me if they're going to talk about somebody else and that kind of thing. So then always overthinking and worried about what people were saying about me. So I had to pull myself back and take myself away from that kind of situation, you know, because I couldn't manage my mind. So if you're struggling with depression, you have to think about who you're around, where you're going, the kind of things you're watching on TV. If it's something on TV that's going to make you stressed out or make you worried or, you know, so thinking about these things, being very intentional, just like I said in the beginning, with if you've got a sickness, you'll do that. So why not if you've got mental health? If you're struggling with depression, you have to be very, very intentional about who you're around, who's your tribe. You know, there was not so long ago I was around people who was just awful and bullies, you know, and there was a lady that kept bullying me all the time. I had to completely separate myself, and then I had to separate myself from people who would make me feel bad about myself, you know, and I had to take myself off certain social medias because it was making me anxious and making me respond badly and making me want to argue or stick up for myself, but behind closed doors, because like you do on social media, you know, you can kind of stand up for yourself on a screen, but you can't do it in person. Well, I was like that anyway. And so, you know, I had to remove myself from all of this. So you have to be very intentional. So I think that's my next step, is being very, very intentional about what you're putting in your mind, you know, and where you are. So the job you're doing, what job do you do? Does it bring stress and anxiety? Well, then why are you in it? I actually got a job not long ago that I hated, and I was in it for only a week when I realized if I stayed in this job, I would end up completely depressed again. So what did I do? I just got online and researched places where I knew I was qualified for, things that my passion where my passion lies, and put in for them jobs, and then got a couple of interviews and went for it. You know, I don't understand staying in a job that you hate or brings anxiety or depression. If it brings anxiety and depression, why? Why stay in it? Because this life is for living, for enjoyment, for fulfillment, for making the best it could possibly be while you're alive. And only you can create the life you want. Only you can work on your life. If you have a sickness, who takes care of that sickness? You do. If you if you have been diagnosed with something, then you have to take care of it. So in the same way you have to take care of your mental health, you have to be very intentional about where you are, your environment, be in a job that you love, be in an environment that only brings you happiness, friendships, relationships. Be in the things that only will bring you happiness and help you in your journey. You know, just make some changes, make some tweaks in life. And then lastly, obviously, your evening routines. You know, spend some time with your hobbies, in doing things you enjoy, around family and friends. But again, positive people around you, quiet time for you. And sleep is very important for mental health. There's lots and lots of studies that if you cure insomnia, if you have enough sleep, it really helps with mental health. I think there was a study with 87% of people struggling with depression got better with curing the sleep problems. So sleep can actually, deprived sleep could actually make you get depressed and make you really struggle with depression. So that's really important. But I like to actually put on a meditation music while I'm going to sleep and fall to sleep with some affirmations on some meditation music, you know. And I like to go to sleep after I've thought about those things that I'm grateful for, maybe even journaling how your day went before you even go off to bed, you know, journaling, like, and what did work for you and what didn't work for you. And then you can start working on the things and getting rid of the things that didn't work for you. But yeah, being very intentional about your whole day and night, being totally aware of what you are putting in your mind, what you're putting in your body, what you're thinking about, what you're doing. And that's how you start to manage depression and then heal from depression. So as I started all this myself, I started to manage the depression and then start to find that I was completely healing from depression. So just like you would manage a sickness, and then you would heal from the sickness. So if you had the flu, you would maybe take some cold medicine, you would take your vitamins to try and help build your immune system back up. You would stay warm, you would do all the things you have to do to start managing it and then healing from it. So this is how you manage it and then you heal from it. I promise you that you can do it. You are stronger than you think. Please don't settle for depression, that's just the way you are now. I did that for a little while too and thought that it was antidepressants for the rest of my life and I had to just manage this. Don't think that that's you. You're stronger than you think. You have the capability to heal. You have this strength inside that you don't even know you have until you start on this journey. So I promise you, if you do this daily routine, that you will heal, you will manage depression, and then you start to completely heal from depression and brokenness and anxiety and anything else that you're struggling with in your mental health, in your mind. And then you'll find your body starts to heal and your whole life gets better. You start manifesting amazing, abundant things. You start manifesting amazing life. Everything starts to change when you start to do this. So that's my encouragement today, that you are stronger than you think. You can do this. I know you can. So until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.